everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope you all have an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new, welcome to you also. I hope you enjoy what you see. What we're going to use for today, we are going to use the smaller tumbling tile blocks, and of course we have our container with everything inside, everything at least what I need. You can make your own container with everything you need for your DIY. The most important is of course the wood glue, and I use a very cheap brand, so it doesn't matter what you use, wood glue, and most of the time any wood glue is fine. So I have here my paint, and of course you can choose any color you like. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. So these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, we are going to make a kind of a drawer, but with a little twist. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see already on the table, the first step, we are going to do 3 rows of 5. So 3 rows of 5 we're going to make with a drawer, and the drawer is a little bit working with, because the blocks, I have the size, at least my blocks have the size when you do the sides around it. It's really a little narrow fit, so we will see how this will turn out. But of course we are going to let it work. We have, like I told you, 3 rows of 5. We have them flat on the table, and we glue the smallest side of the blocks, and we just make 1 row out of it. So again, you do this also over here, and I'm going to make a little bit of the smaller size, but you can size it up if you want to have this piece bigger, but you can decide at the end. But I like to decorate for small spaces. Again, squeeze it, and we do here again work from the inside to the out, and always at the ending give it a little bit of pressure, because you want to that it glues nicely together. So we have our wet old towel, we're going to wipe away the top of the glue, and we're going to do 1 straight bit and place it up, clean up our mat, turn it over, and do the other side. Do it fast like this, place it straight up, clean up your mat. Oh, of course the other way, and this one also, place it straight up, clean up your mat, and then do the other side. And then we're going to go back, make sure that we have a nice straight line. If you have a carpenter square, totally fine. I have one, but I don't use it. I'm so used to doing this way, but you can do, and then you don't have to go back because yours is already straight. We're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So now we're going to turn them this way over here, and we're going to place them on the side, 1 over here, and do some glue on each block. We do this one also, and we place them down again over here. And that's why we only wait a couple of minutes, because we want to fill in the open gaps. And now we can easily fill in the open gaps. We're going to wipe away the top over here, and we're going to let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while my bottom from my drawer is drying, I'm going to do the sides, and the sides will be 10 rows of 3. So 10 rows of 3, you're going to glue also over here the sides, and you make 1 row out of it, and you do here the same. And I always love working with a little tray, drawer tray, how you call it. The top side you can decorate, and of course the inside of your drawer you can decorate to pull it out a little and give it a little bit space, and then you can decorate the inside. I always love this kind of piece, because you can use it in your own decor, you can use it in your kitchen, you can use it maybe for your children's room, maybe in the bathroom. You can use it anywhere. So again, now we have all 10 of 3, and we're going to squeeze them, and again over here make some straight on top of here and over here. And now we're going to do all of them, and I'm only going to show you this squeezing because you know already, if you want to move them for the other side, do it fast, place it straight up, and then make sure that you clean up your mat, so you always have a nice surface to work with. So again, I'm going to wipe away the glue and do the back side. So now I have my 10 pieces of 3, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 of them, turn them over, I'm doing some glue on the side over here, and I'm going to place them together this way and fill in the open gaps. Make sure that you have the side also straight. You do again 2 pieces over here, and you're going to glue them together this way. Also feel the sides that you have a straight nice line. Now we're going to do one of 3. Again, you do some glue on the side and on this side, and you're going to fill them in also the same way. Fill in the open gaps because that's what you want. And over here, and the last of 3, and you're going to do some glue over here and over here, and you're going to fill them in. Gently squeeze it together over here, and then you're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So you see already we have our 2 pieces of 3 glue together, our 2 pieces of 2 glue together. Now we're going to get the bottom we made earlier. What we're going to do, you see already a little bit what we're going to do. It's not that difficult. So we are going to do some glue on all sides of our bottom. So you do go just easy, go around with your glue. And don't make a mess like I always do. I always make one big mess of my glue over here. And I'm going to turn this one. And I'm going to do this side. One line. I'm going to place it down. And I'm going to place this one against here on this side. So over here, give it a little bit of pressure. Only on the underside because this is still not totally dry. It is only dried after 24 hours, but I always work my way with it. So again, give it some pressure over here. And now we're going to do the sides, but we're going to do some glue also because we go glue it to this side, a little on this one and a little on this one. So very easy, just on the sides over here. And then you're going to place it over here. You do here the same, only on this side and on this side over here, and you're going to place it on here, and you're going to give it lightly some pressure. And now I'm going to you see already what I mean. I have a little piece which is too short on the sides, but I make sure that my front side of my drawer is even. So the back side you don't see it because it's in the drawer. So I'm going to make sure that the front side is even. So again, over here, squeeze it together. Make sure that you have a nice straight line. If you have the shape you like, then let it dry in for at least a half hour. So now our drawer is drying, at least the inside of the drawer. We're now going to make the outside. We have 4 rows of 7. 4 rows of 7. We also lay them flat on the table. And we take the smallest line of the block this way, and we just roll them very easy together again this way. And like I told you earlier, you can make it as big as you like. You just number up. It's not that difficult, but I do it a little smaller because I think a lot of people will enjoy the smaller piece. And this is number 2. Let me know in the comments down below if you like to decorate also with little displays, because I like to decorate with little displays and do some drifted items inside of my pieces because I love drifting. I think a lot of you already know that, but my house is, and at least I drift a lot of stuff, but I also redo it and I do some painting, some sewing. It doesn't matter. I always make the drifted items my own. So, and I collect my books. That's what I love the most about drifting, the old pieces. Again, we're going to squeeze them from the outside, of the inside to the outside, and always go back and give it some pressure to the outside at the end. And again, over here, you see, he wants to pop up, and that's not what we want to. And we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to do the back side and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So we give it a couple of minutes. We're going to turn them to the side. We're going to place 3 of them straight up over here, and we do some glue on the top side of the blocks. Oh, again, we do over here and over here, and we're going to place it down, fill in with this one, fill in with this one, and this one, and we're going to make sure that also the sides, and then gently squeeze from the outside. And it doesn't matter if they go apart, you can easily glue them together again. Just squeeze it, and again fill in the open gaps, because that's what you want. You don't want too much open gaps. And if you really have open gaps and you can't fill them up again, just use some wood filler and fill it up, because if you at least not enjoying it, I like a little bit of the old style, but that's not everyone's cup of tea. And again, I have to squeeze this one a little to this side, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So, and you see already on the table the next step, because our drawer has also a top side and a bottom. And of course, that's why we do again 4 rows of 7, 4 rows of 7. So now we make the top of the underside just what you want. Doesn't matter. That's why we make a second one of this plank. So we have a top of the bottom and of a top of the drawer and the bottom of the drawer. And again, row them easy together again. But you can do it also easy and a little different than I do. Just make 8 rows of 7. And you have the same that I have right now. It's a little bit easier. So I'm going to do, but it doesn't fit so much on my mat. And I have new mats, and it is really struggling, because I think they go this way. They don't go flat, but they go this way. So there is a little bit of thing inside. So it is really working a little difficult. I hope at the time that he goes flat more than that he is right now. So I have to do it in little parts. And again, I'm going to squeeze them together. So I hope you have a better mat than I have, because this one is really struggling. Again, going to squeeze them and make sure that we have a nice straight line. And we're going to wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now I'm going to take this 4, again, the same like we did with the other one. Place them on the sides and do some glue on the tops. And this one also. And the last over here, and we're going to glue them together this way, and we're going to gently fill in the open gaps. Just give it some pressure and make sure that all the sides are glued nicely together. And again, we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to give it at least a half hour drying. So now we're going to make the sides of our drawer, at least the outside of the drawer, 2 rows of 7 and 1 of 11. I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 1 of 11, 2 of 7. So that will be the outside, at least the side of the drawer. But it now leaves me a little piece on the side more than I would want, but we're going to work with it. I show you that when he is in each other, so I can explain that a little bit better then. So I'm going to roll all of them together, this 11 piece also. But with blocks, it's always measuring and looking which is looking nice, and you always have to make your own twist on it, because the blocks are not always working with you, because they have most of the time different sizes than you want. It is a package, at least I have a package of 54, but it is always a couple of them are not straight, they are crooked. It is always a little puzzle to get them fitting all nicely. But at the end, we will get there. And I think a lot of you have the same problem, because also the blocks are not always straight. So again, I'm going to wipe away the glue, and I'm going to do the back side also and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now you see I have my 3 parts of the sides. I'm going to get my bottom, at least one of the planks, because you have, if everything is correctly, you have there 2. So we are going to use one of them, and we're going to place it over here. And what we're going to do, we're going to place this one over here, and we're going to place this one on the outside over here. So it's really easy. We're going to do some glue on this side over here, and we're going to place it on here. We're not going to squeeze it yet, this way. And now we're going to do some glue on the underside over here, and a little on the side, so over this way, and we place it on top of here. Also not going to squeeze it yet. I'm doing some glue over here on the side and on the underside over here, and we're going to place this one on this side. Very gently we're going to fill in and make sure that we have it in the middle, because he's hanging, the sides are hanging over a little bit. If everything is correctly, you probably have the same that I have. So again, you're going to feel on the back side that you have it on the inside, that it is straight. You feel here that the spaces are equal with this one. So this way, and then we're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to let it dry in for at least a half hour. So we did wait at least, I waited a half hour, but of course I always wait a little shorter because I'm really impatient. So I did wait 10 minutes, and then I'm going to do some glue over the tops over here, and I'm going to do some glue. And then I'm going to place my second plank on top of here. Always before you're going to glue it, before you do the glue on top, feel if this feels better. Maybe you have to turn it, maybe you have to do it this way. Always feel which one is fitting the best before you're going to glue it, and then place it on top before everything glues together, because that's better than you are going to look for it when you already have it placed down. That's not really a great option. I did it a lot of times, but it's not working. So always do it without the glue. Just look which is fitting the best. So over here, and now I'm going to find my shape I like, because I want to have it fitting nicely. And then we're going to give it some time to dry, and this really needs to dry in half hour, at least better an hour, because we have to place the drawer inside, and the drawer is a narrow fitting, so we have to make sure that this is dried nicely. So my box is on the side and he is drying right now. Now I'm going to make a kind of a border around my top, because I want to let the drawer look like a tray on top. So I'm going to do 2 times 4 blocks and 2 times 2. So we are not going to do this thing. We're now going to glue the top side, this one, and over here, and roll them together, and this one over here and over here. We do this one and this, and the 2 pieces. This is one and this is number 2, and we're going to squeeze them over here. Make sure that you have a nice straight line and give it a couple of minutes drying if you have wiped away the glue. So now I have my 2 pieces of 4 and my 2 pieces of 2. Now we're going to get our box, and we're going to see how this is how he's looking like, and we're going to place it this way. Now we're going to glue this one over here at the ending. So we do some glue on the underside over here, and we fill it gently in over here. Not squeeze it too hard yet. We're going to do the pieces of 2, so we do some on the side, on this side, and on the underside, and we just place it very gently over here. We do here the same. You do some glue on this side, and on the underside, and we place this one over here, and we just let it fall down. And now the only thing we need to do is the one of 4 on the underside over here, and we're going to fill it in with this one. So again, we're going to look for which shape we like the best and which is fitting the best. So, and then we're going to make sure that we let it dry in for at least 15 minutes until it is really dry. So in the meantime, we are going to make our own knob, but you can use, of course, a bead, you can use a piece of twine, you can use anything for on your drawer which you are going to pull it out. So I like to keep it with my blocks and keep it simple. So I'm going to make my own knob from 2 blocks on top of each other. Very easy, very simple. Just do 2 blocks on top of each other and going to let it rest. And then we're going to glue it on our drawer. So here we have our drawer and I have here my knob, at least my homemade knob. I'm going to do it this way on top of here. Over here to do some glue. Place it in the middle and going to squeeze it down. And this way. And if everything is in the shape I want, I'm going to let this dry in for at least an hour, hour and a half, because you have to pull on it. So I'm going to leave it drying. So if everything is correctly, you have now the same pieces that I have. I have here my little, cupboard, I think, how you call it, tray, little cubby, I don't know how you call it, but you give it a name, it doesn't matter. At least we have here the opening. I'm always honest because you see, I did sand the underside because you have to fit first if everything is fitting nicely. And of course he is fitting, but also I did have to sand with a sanding paper a little bit over the underside to make it smooth a little, because or else it didn't go as smooth as I hoped for, because you see already the blocks, this one and this one are the same length. So you always have to sand. Maybe you're lucky and it fits nicely if you are lucky, but most of us, I think a lot of you, have to just sand the underside with a simple sanding paper. Just sand a little layer under here, and then you can easily glue it over here, and of course this way. And now what you also see, I can do it a little to this side and this side. You see I have here a little opening. Of course you can leave it this way, but I don't really like that. So what I do, I'm going to look for exactly for the middle. Then I'm going to take 2 blocks and I'm going to place them inside, and I'm going to make sure that I have them over here and leave a little opening here. And I'm going to glue them on top of here to give it at least a little bit texture on my drawer. But I like that the opening is a little bit smaller, because the measurements weren't my measurements which were the greatest. So I had to work with what I have. So I'm easily just doing some glue over here this way, and I'm going to place it on top of here. Oh, you see already I'm almost inside with my fingers. And I'm going to fill in that I think here needs to be this way. And now I'm going to do it on this side the same, a little glue on here. And I'm going to make sure that it is fitting nicely over here. Just leave it a little spot, not too much, but also not too less, because you have to still get it inside of here. And now I'm going to let this dry in for at least an hour. So in the meantime, my drawer is drying. I'm going to turn my box upside down. And what I'm going to do, I did get out of my stash 4 wooden beads, a little bit of the bigger size. You can find them anywhere. You can also, what you can do, if you don't want to have the beads, just double up 2 Jenga blocks like this and just glue them on top of here. One here, one here, one here, and one here. Then you also have 4 legs. But I'm going to go for this time for my wooden beads. So I'm going to do some glue over here. And I'm going to place them on the corner. And always make sure that you have them on the same corners and the same height that you have with the other one. So always go back, look for where you want to have it, feel with your fingers, because you don't want that he is later that it doesn't look right. So again, take your time for it, and I'm going to glue all 4 of them. So you see already I did some white paint on top of my paper kitchen towel. Of course, you can choose any color. Maybe if you like it in the gold or silver, it's also fine. You can spray paint it. You could do whatever you think it's right. I'm only giving a little layer of the white that the wood is still coming through. Of course, I was looking, you can also use it as a jewelry box. You can use it for doing some remote controls inside. You can do anything, maybe some tea bags inside. You can use it for anything. So if you make a couple of them, you can even build them on top of each other. So I'm just going to start with the inside and just lightly give it a little bit of a white distressing. But of course, I understand that's not everyone's cup of tea, but give your own color in it. So you see, I did both of my pieces in the white color and I'm going to let them dry for at least a half hour until everything is dry, and then we're going to decorate the inside and the top. So you see, I did collect some little pieces in my home, which I'm always decorate with. So we have, of course, our little box with our drawer. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my drawer not totally inside, but a little halfway, so I can easily decorate it. Of course, you can do it this way. I have to look for, because I am now in the opposite direction. So this way. So I'm going to do it this way. Leave the door a little open. You don't have to do it. You can of course do it closed. But I like it. So I found some bunnies. Very easy. They were only €1 here at our Action. It's similar like Dollar Tree. So just take two little bunnies, or maybe something else. You can use some lemons, some apples. You can do anything you like. So I'm going to place one inside of here. I'm going to place one over here. I did buy this on in a thrift store, of course, this one and this one. Paint this one black, left this one, I don't even know what it is, but at least I like the shape of it. So I'm going to place this one in the corner to give it some height. Of course, I have here a little tree, and of course some people say it's a Christmas tree, but I use them all year round. I color them in every color because I like the shape of it. So I'm going to place this one over here. I have another one of this scoop, and I'm going to place this one also over here a little. I have to do it in the opposite direction. I have really no idea how it will look like. Of course, I have here some beads with I did on top of a pipe cleaner. Just glued some glue inside of the bead, did the pipe cleaner inside, then I made my little beads on top of here, and I ended also with some beads. So it's very easy. I'm going to place this one on the side, and you can do it any way you like. I just collect them through my house. I have of course here some little how you call straws, and of course I have 4 of them in the neutral tone. I did a little piece of twine around it, give them a little bit of the shape out of each other, and just place them inside of here. And I have here some Scrabble letters of these are numbers, but you have also letters. I have here the numbers, and I glue them together, give them some black distressing to look like it's a little bit of the old. And I'm going to place this one over here. But of course, what would we do without greenery? I love greenery. So I have some boxwood, which is a couple of them. I always buy a garland like this, and I pull them apart. Just do a couple of them together, do an elastic band, and you already have little plugs you can easily place inside of here to give it at least let it come to life. Of course, I have to turn it around, but then you see in a moment how this is really turned out, because everyone can give their own twist on it. I only show you mine. And you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling towel blocks, a little cubby with some drawers inside, and I'm so happy how this one turned out, especially because I like decorating little spaces. I hope you give this one a try, and everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw, and if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day, and of course I hope you see you all in the next one. Bye.